Never got weird enough for me.
I enjoy Male Lee's titties.
Anyway, hey there, beer tubers. Welcome back to Beer Analysis 101 with your host, Maxwell Starr. And thank you for the great intro there, Greg.
I do what I can.
Tonight, we're doing a ReAnalysis episode of Dortmunder Export, the classic original style from Germany. It's made since 1868. Right on. So we first looked at this beer way back in 2020, but we'll get down to the details of that. First of all, let's introduce who we have with us, starting with the beard himself, Mr. Redbeard. How you doing tonight, Redbeard?
I are good. How are you?
I is okay.
Good stuff.
Yay. All right. And next up we have with us from High Tide and Vibe, we have the magical Lee. How you doing tonight, Lee?
Apparently I'm magical all of a sudden. So I must be doing all right.
Maybe I mean magical or something like that.
What?
Magical? You like magical?
Just give it up. You've already failed. It's fine.
I know. All right. And, of course, we've got everybody's favorite, the only Greg on our channel. So we got Greg, who is your favorite Greg by default. So how you doing tonight, Greg?
I'm also Mad Jerkinkull.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah, I think he said you were Mad Jerkin it or something like that.
No, Magical, the company that Mike and Lydia worked for. Breaking
I think he just slurs his word. I think he was trying to say like a Mad Jerk Circle or something, but he just kind of slurs words together.
Greg,
he's really
how you
just
doing?
projecting what he wants.
Greg, how you doing?
I'm doing as good as can be. I went to Welland today. Didn't visit Sexton. Didn't visit Chris because I'm just that kind of guy. And now I'm back from outer space to drink this wonderful Export Dortmunder, the original style from Germany. How exciting. Is this a review? I don't remember if we did this or not.
Yeah, this is a reanalysis.
ReAnal.
We
Okay.
have looked at it before. If you were paying attention.
Nope.
Was I in the first one? I don't remember.
No, but Greg was.
Okay, good.
So,
I'm in everything. I forget. My memory is.
I can't contradict myself then. Excellent.
there you go. All right, and of course, next up we've got Mr. Gee. A nice looking glass. And he's chugging.
He's ready for his review.
Ready
I
for
know. I still got this.
history.
Soccer fuckers.
Oh yeah, which beer was that you just chugged? Is that the same one?
I don't know. Throughout the cans.
All right.
It's Quebec gas station IPA.
So Quebec gas station, like Archibald or something like that. All right, so yeah, that was entertaining. So let's get down to the business here and talk about our history. So normally on a reanalysis, we don't necessarily talk about the beer history, although let's say a few words. But everybody should know what DAB is, Dortmunder Export, from Dortmunder Octen Brewery, and in the city of Dortmund, which is in the Ruhr tongue twister. The Ruhr region of Western Germany, which was founded in 1868 by businessmen Loren Fischer, Heinrich and Friedrich Moritz, and brewmaster Heinrich Herberts. And as well, anyway, I'm not going to read the entire fucking history, but it's been around for a long time. And they have a bunch of other different versions of DAB, like DAB Dark, DAB Nibach, DAB Radler, DAB Pilsner, Hefeweizen, which would be kind of cool to check some of the other ones. I think maybe I've had DAB Dark before. Anyway, so Dortmunder Export is a 5% ABV, 23 IBU Dortmunder lager brewed in compliance with Reinheitsgebot using only water, hops, barley, and yeast. And yeah, it is actually its own style of lager, so it's the Dortmunder lager.
Yeah,
of the style.
Although, like, it's generally, most people seem to equate it as like sort of a Helles lager, basically, with a bit more of a Pilsner finish. So, like, they're
Fetish.
but it's weird, right? It's that fucking thing with Germany where like every fucking town had their own goddamn beer, so they all became styles on their own, kind of thing.
Yeah, like Kolsch is from Cologne or something like that. So they all had their own beers, or Budweiser was from Budweiss.
Budweiss.
Yeah, Budweiss, not the American Budweiser, but like Budweiser, Budvar.
Yeah, not the one from Budweiser, Ohio, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, or like Warsteiner was like from Warstein, Germany. They're
Yeah.
all named after the towns that it came from. So, but yeah, so Dab had their Dortmunder Export. It came from Dortmund, Germany. So, all right. So, way back on May 13th of 2020, we had Greg, Ashley, and me on, and we gave Dortmunder Export. Well, Greg gave it a 7 and a 6.5. Ashley gave it 7 and 7, and I gave it a 8 and a 5. Apparently, I thought it was great for the style. My battery just died on my headset. Thank you.
Nice.
Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
All right, good. All right, so 8 and 5 for the style, 7.33 for the style, 6.17. Yay, we looked in all the numbers. So it looks like we liked it, but I'm not sure why I thought it was bad. So, all right, so let's get down to talk to who was with us at the time, and well, actually, just get down to history. Considering most of the people that are here, including Dan now, hi Dan.
Hello, Dan.
We're not here for the review, except with the exception of Greg and me. But let's talk to Redbeard and say, hey, Redbeard,
Hello.
like, do you have a history with this beer?
I do. I just drank a can.
Nice.
I'm on my second one now. And also I've had their Radler. And maybe you mentioned that Dab Dark. I might have had that at some point too.
Yeah, I think I got Dab Dark from Ontario at an LCBO.
The Radler is super hot. They make a grapefruit one. I'm not a grapefruit fan, but the lemon one, whatever it is really tasty. It's like just straight up freaking limey lemonade deliciousness. Nice. And I'm into my second can of this one now. So woo.
There you go. Thank you, Redbeard. Who's next? We got Mr. Lee. Lee, I know you have a history with this beer.
Long history of it. One of the first beers I reviewed back in 2008-ish. Had it it's been in my NSLC for the longest fucking time. It's been one of the foreign beers, international beers, wherever you want to say it, that's always kind of been on the shelf in that section. That and Tuborg and shit like that, like it's always kind of been around. I don't think I can remember a time when it's not been in my NSLC. And I do like it, spoilers, but as much as I do like it, I kind of wish it was more the case with like all the Belgian beers that used to show up at my NSLC. That's way more awesome if they were still around. But whatever. Not much I can do about that. So.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Lee. Let's go over to Greg, who is the only one here tonight who has had this before. Well, who was on the original BA 101.
I had.
So,
I have a long history with it, Nick. I had a can, whatever the date was, the first beer anal, and now I'm having my second can ever of this. That's my history.
nice.
Well, me and Greg are both on our second can. Nice.
There you
That's
go.
right. Carrie's caught up quickly.
The difference is Carrie's having the second can of it tonight.
Yes, but we're still on equal footing.
There you go. Alrighty, so
I like your feet more than I like my feet. God damn you!
I'm just gonna watch Greg pick his toes for a second here before.
Get him off the fucking thing.
All right, so there's Guy. Hi, Guy.
Hello.
Hi. How you doing tonight?
Das Brau.
Das Brau. All right. So, what's your history with Dortmunder?
I checked the YouTube. I never reviewed it. So I think it's just one of those, I don't remember when I had it, but I'm sure I had it because it's always at the fucking LCBO. So whenever you're like, oh, I'm just going to fill my cart different beers, I'm sure I had this one like probably 4 times before. But I don't remember anything because it's one of those beers that it's part of getting drunk.
They just kind of blend into the evening kind of shit, I guess. Yeah.
Yep. That's how she wrote.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Guy. All right. Let's
Love
go.
that delayed reaction.
That was great.
All right.
Something of just dead air there, kind of.
Well, sorry, I was just reading. It was funny. I was looking over. Hi, Dan. Looking over at some of the old comments on my original review. When he got talking about it, doing it. Did he do review years ago? Oh, I should get in this detail when I do my talk, but it's funny. I'm like reading angry comments or something that were posted on my original review because I didn't like them. Anyway, let's move along. Let's go to Dan. Hi, Dan. How you doing?
Spoilers.
I know how much you hate spoilers. Don't leave the chat.
Hello.
Hey.
Now, as for how many times have I had this beer? This is it right here.
There we go.
And-
History in the making.
Yep. I looked in my local liquor store, and there's 2 colors of can. The other one was the silver top.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked and went, oh, look, that was from 2021. I think I'll pick this one up because I think it's fresher because I don't see a date on it. I think they've.
You
taken
should have
the
grabbed
dates off.
both and compared.
There you go.
I should have. I could have. I would have, but I didn't. So yeah, I could have been up with you guys if I grabbed both of them, but with 2. But no, it's just going to be 1.
No. Dan's holding up the rear.
Yeah, someone's got to do it because it ain't Greg.
Well,
Yep.
All right, let's bring me back over here. I posted my original review of Dortmunder Original. I'm pretty sure I had this beer back when I was first exploring beers at the NB Liquor, which is like 2009, 2010. Probably watched Lee's original review that he posted way back, before time began or whenever that was.
what?
Probably one of those old reviews that's no longer available online because he.
Oh yeah, I privated all my old ones.
Yeah. Anyway, so I reviewed it way back in August of 2012, so 10 years ago, as review number 368 on my channel. I was drinking it with the Heist Almighty, and looking at my scores of it, I wasn't quite as generous with this beer then as I was with my BA 101 that I did a little while back in 2020. But I would say that when it comes to like German lagers or something like that, I changed my tune over the course of the years. I mean, I still stand by the review I gave of it way back then, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I like a good German import beer, but like any kind of Euro lager, I've kind of warmed up to them over the course of the years. As far as this one goes, yeah. So I had it originally. I've had it. I think when we were talking about doing this review again, I bought a couple of cans of this and I drank them a few weeks ago, and I just been sitting on this one, my last can of it, for this BA or this ReAnalysis that we're doing now. And also, I would like to mention that a month or so ago, Moosehead came out with their own kind of Dortmunder Export, which also I thought was, quite good. I ended up buying that a couple of times back in August, I think. Anyway, all right, so that's my history with this. I've had it before, so and I was in the original BA 101. So we have 4 comments. Any volunteers to read them?
I'll read them.
All right.
All right. We have beer for breakfast, fact for snack, saying Dobbs sucks. Yeah, apparently. We have Basement Jamie himself saying hi Lee. Then I said hi Jamie. And we have Bubba Sadie's. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. Bubba Sadie's. Said Dab is insane value. And then we have one from Radar that I had to approve because he put the word Nazi in there. He said Dab is German for Nazi farts.
There you go. We're learning lots tonight.
And then Bubba Sadie said, do Sam Adams Wicked Hazy next time. Well, we would if we could all get it, but I don't think any of us can fucking get it, so it's kind of off the table. If you want to
here.
Yeah, if you want to send out like 10 beer mails to everybody, then maybe we'll do it.
Can you get Wicked Hazy in Nova Scotia, Lee?
I can't get any fucking Sam Adams in Nova
Oh
Scotia.
fuck! Oh right. What's going on? Like, it used to be Moosehead that had the distribution contract.
I know there's a bar here in town that has some Sam Adams beer on tap, but that's the only Sam Adams I've seen in this city in a long time.
Yeah, as much as we'd like to fill requests, like we all kind of live pretty much far away from each other for the most part, and it's like, oh, 2 people in Ontario can get this beer and then no one else. So then it's like a show of 2 people on it. Like,
Well, yeah, I appreciate the suggestion. If we can,
Oh yeah.
if it was something we could all get, then be like, yeah, sure. But it's just
Like, I mean, I know I'm pretty sure I can buy that here in 6-packs, and I mean, if it's in Ontario, there's like most of the people on this panel.
oh, it's at Sobeys apparently. Okay,
he says this is at Sobeys, but yeah, that's Sobeys in Ontario. Sobeys in Nova Scotia, for instance, does not sell beer.
You know what,
So-
Bubba? I will go to Sobeys and get a can and do at least a review on my channel for you. Because why not?
There you go.
It's shameless self promotion. Look at
And
Red Beer.
North Bay Acity.
Is this the one he's talking about? Sam Adams. I don't know if you guys can see Sam Adams Wicked Easy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna see.
Okay, Wicked
Still
Easy,
not
not
the,
Wicked Hazy.
Alberta.
That's why I thought I heard hazy as well. So that's why. I was
Yeah, he typed in Wicked Hazy, but I know he means Wicked Easy.
Okay, yeah, the Wicked Easy. That's the one they have on tap at Arugula here in town.
Oh, cool.
It's
Place.
not super easy for me to get, but I could go out of my way and get it. So.
Oh, there you go.
There's
There you
only
go.
39
You guys-
places here in Calgary that can get it.
Yeah, but are you going to show up?
He did
Oh,
tonight.
stop doing
Look at that.
it. Yeah, hi, how you doing?
Every now and then he comes through.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You guys can actually do an episode on it there. That's
I
all.
show up like a bad fungus.
I think
every now and then.
Theoretically, could do that. Yeah,
Lee, the question you got to ask is, will his wife let him show up that night?
That's right.
that's the truth.
I'm working right now.
It'll work.
Technically working right now.
Hey, why not?
Come home. Alrighty, so what's next?
Huh?
Huh?
Even Brooks can get it. Okay, yeah, it's definitely here.
Yeah, you know what the weird thing is that I drank a Carlsberg right before starting. Actually, I was drinking it while I'm doing my intro here, so it's kind of weird, like how much they're similar. I feel like maybe Carlsberg is creamier, but I don't know. I don't
I've had
mind it.
Carlsberg in a while.
If it's not out of the green bottle, it's not Carlsberg.
Back when I used
You
to
gotta
work
have a
at
skunky.
one beer in town, the one bar here in town, the Moose. I want to say around the year 2000-ish.
Ish.
They opened up, like they bought the building next door and made it into like an expansion. They called it a different name and stuff. It's kind of supposed to be the more upscale place. And Carlsberg was one of the beers they had on tap. They had that. They had the Kilkenny and the Harp and the Guinness
Mm-hmm.
shit. And it was like one of the only places in town that you could get that kind of stuff way back then. Aside from Finn McCool's was here back then, which was like the full-on Irishy place.
What a fucking name, Finn McCool's.
Fionn McCool's. The way it's actually spelled, F-I-O. I worked there for a while, and they actually made some really good food. There's a pretty cool one, I don't know if it's still there, in Ottawa, where me and my buddy, well, me and someone who used to be a buddy, let's not talk about him, went to Ottawa a long time ago and went there while we were both working at the Finns here. And they gave us a bit of a tour. And theirs is in like one of the buildings in Ottawa that are like, it's like a historic building. So they can't do any like modifications to the building and shit. So like they took the kitchen's like in the basement, spread across like 4 different rooms. It was the weirdest setup I ever seen in my life. But
That's fucked up.
and then the manager that was on right that evening comped our food and drinks. It was great.
Nice.
We got they had their nachos at Finn McCool's were basically those like waffle cut round French fries you get cooked nice and crispy with some onions and tomatoes and some like cheese sauce poured all over it. They're really tasty. And we ordered that while we were there. And it came to us, and the cheese sauce was like it looked like it was like just squirted out of a bottle, like just like, and I just casually mentioned it to the server, like this isn't to spec at all. Like this isn't how it's supposed to be served. And that's when the manager came over and just started talking. And I was like, nothing wrong with it. It was so good, but yeah.
The manager was like, "What's your problem, huh? What's your fucking problem, huh? What's your fucking problem, huh? What's your fucking problem, huh?" And then you're like, no, nothing. That's right. You shut your fucking face and eat your goddamn nachos, you piece of shit. Tony pizza, huh?
The Bull and Quench bar was cool. That was a cool bar back in the day. That's Nick has been to the Bull and Quench, but not that place we went to called Station. That used to be the Bull and Quench years ago.
Oh, okay, cool. That was a nice little spot. The Station.
Yeah. It's owned by the same guy who owns that Moose restaurant. He bought it. The Bull and Quench shut down.
Okay.
And funny enough, the Bull and Quench on their sign. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
It seemed kind of modern.
Yeah, it was. He like gutted the building basically and redid everything.
Okay.
But the Bull and Quench, their logo, whatever you want to call it. I remember. Have you ever seen the Warner Brothers cartoon where Bugs Bunny fights a bull? He's like a matador and he fights the bull, and it's like this whole thing. That bull, like exactly that bull, was like their logo on their sign. And a small town, small place. I'm sure nobody ever said anything, but yeah, some straight up like trademark infringement, whatever. Good
Smoke said bull.
I bet he just ran naked inside the kitchen. It's like, welcome to Flavortown.
I only went there a couple times, but it was pretty cool.
So, Bubba says Bull and Quench Bar was cool in North Bay for British taps.
That is what I just spent about 5 minutes talking about. Thank you.
Yeah. Did you ever say British taps though?
I did.
Did you? Okay.
You did not.
I zoned out about like a minute into you talking, to be honest.
Yeah, I think when we went to Station, it was like just basically like any Ontario craft beer. I remember having a whiskey jack on tap there. It was pretty good.
They've got, I want to say, a good at least 10 taps that they rotate and keep. Because they have to have, I'm pretty sure, like the Bud Light, the Coors Light, there's stupid shit.
Yeah.
Those come from urinals.
Nah.
You're in luck.
So, anyone want to go first on their thoughts on this beer?
I'm
Where we're supposed to be reviewing initially?
Do you want to go?
Yeah.
Meet me, punk.
So this is meet me at the bridge.
The bridge.
Meet
you on the Isle of Ho.
Meet me at Isle of Ho. We'll fight. We'll fight where the old lighthouse used to be, bitch. I'll knock you off the cliff into the seal pit. The seals will eat your body. Yeah. So this feels a lot like I've noticed it's changed quite a bit over the years. It's not quite as like crisp as it used to be. It's very much more in the Helles style. I kind of feel as it's kind of become a beer with like extract hops and shit like that in it, and like if you look at the ingredients, it's like hop extract and shit and malt extract and shit like that. And, oh no, it doesn't say malt extract, but hop extract, and so they're cheapening it a little bit. But yeah, it is kind of in the Helles style in the sense that a Helles lager tends to be more malt forward, but still very like light and grassy and floral, and there's little hints of that here. I feel like it mostly comes out in the actual aroma. Tasting it, I find it's bready and like a little bit herbal, like if you're getting like fresh made bread out of like a bread machine or something like that. If your mother had one at home or whatever the fuck making bread, and they put the prepackaged like whatever kind of like slight herbal spice in it or whatever, for whatever kind of bread you're making or shit. It's kind of like that. It doesn't have a lot of bitterness going on. Generally, a Helles lager doesn't anyway, even though they kind of say to style, it's like, oh, you get slightly like that Pilsner bitterness. Not really. But yeah, this is, vaguely fits in the style still pretty well. It is still fairly cheap, all things considered. You can get cans of this for, like $3 or whatever the fuck it is. And it's drinkable. It's good. There's no off flavors. Even when it gets warmer, it's fine. So like style wise, is basically just like I'm going to sit this at kind of like a Helles lager. So you're getting like a more malt forward lager, not as hoppy, not as herbal as like a Pilsner or something like that. It's about a 7. My own personal enjoyment, I'd have to say it's probably gone down a little bit over the years, but I still like it quite a bit. I'd say a 6.5, and that's like a strong 6.5 bordering on a 7, but 6.5 and 7, or 7 and 6.5, the other way around. But it's good. It's fine. It's just it doesn't feel as special as it used to, because when I first could get this in the NSLC, there was a time of like the only other things available to me were like, Budweiser, Labatt, Moosehead, and Alexander Keys, like shit like that. And it's like this blew those away as like just like a kind of a clean European lager kind of thing. And it's like, wow, that's way different, and I enjoy it, and I feel special and snooty and upper class drinking it because I'm drinking a foreign beer. Look at me, motherfucker! Fuck you, you homer. And it's true. But yeah, no, it's still good. It's just it just feels like it suffers like all the sort of classic brands seem to these days, where they get dumbed down, they get cheapened, and they don't feel as special anymore. Also, just because it's probably a little bit of nostalgia ringing in the back of my head there somewhere where the brain cells have all died. That's it.
All right.
R.I.P. Lee's brain cells.
Awesome. Great. Thank you. Let's move over to who's next in line. Let's go over to Mr. Beard. Hi, Carrie.
I wish I had drank this a while ago, because I'm not able to get what Lee's saying, where it says it's changed and kind of dumbed down. I would agree along the lines that like this does taste more or less just like at least like 10, 20 other European macro lagers I've had. Again, it's a style I don't gravitate towards, but there's nothing wrong with it. What Lee said is like a bit of a bready thing. I almost get a bit of a corny type thing off it, but it's easy drinking. It's not offensive. Like who's it? Radar Nazi farts. Like even the smell is just Euro macro lager. 7s across the board. I guess it's all right.
The twist there is that Radar actually likes being farted on in the face by Goebbels.
See,
I 100% believe
this is true. I don't
Did not see that.
That's not something that's not a revelation to me. It's just something like, I believe it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's paid for.
So you don't question it, really. You just know
And that Nazi ate a lot of sausage.
and sauerkraut.
Bratwurst. Come on.
Is there ever too much sausage?
Bratwurst.
Yes. Take in my bratwurst thoughts, Radar.
Alrighty, so let's move. Keep this trained. Let's concentrate. Keep that train going here. So,
Well, Jesus Christ, Nick.
Greg. Oh, this is a great segue. Hey, Greg.
Hi, Nick.
Give us some chamber music.
Oh,
Jeez. Come on, life's the gas. Come on.
I need to take a shower. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Hey, you
Seem to
started
be
it.
dying over here with all these comments.
You started it over there, Jerry Lewis. Jesus Christ.
This entire episode is just a holocaust.
Oh.
That actually no, it did happen.
Whoa! That was a slip of the
dude.
tongue there, Nick.
Fuck off.
Well,
Slip
now
of the
that,
dick.
now that we know some of Nick's deep-seated
Hold on,
beliefs,
keep this thing
let's
marching.
move on with Let's move on with this review, shall we? Okay. I think last time I gave it a 7 and a 6.5, and I think I'm more or less there, possibly a little bit more down on the beer. I think Carrie mentioned a little bit of a corniness to it. I get that as well. Like, to me, I almost taste like there's some corn syrup in it. I doubt there is because it's supposed to have the purity loss. So I'm kind of guessing, yeah, they don't.
I meant to say, is it not weird? Like barley is underlined on the ingredient list, and then even the German translation, Jerzen, I guess. Jerzen, the first part of that is also underlined. It's kind of funny to me.
Justin Malz. Yeah, Justin Malz this.
Anyways, now that we're done with the punctuation portion of the show, let's go back to the review. So it is a little, I get a little bit of corniness. So it's a flavor I don't really like, whether it's there or not. Maybe it's not corn I'm tasting. Maybe it's the underlying barley. I don't know. Otherwise, it's pretty smooth. It doesn't have a particularly high amount of flavor. So it's definitely something that could qualify as a good pool beer, which is what I think a lager is meant for. But I also think there's a lot cleaner lagers like the one we did 2 weeks ago. I don't even remember what it was because my brain cells are also dying from too much alcohol. But whatever we did 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, that was a good light lager.
The hell was that now?
Man, no one remembers.
Isn't that what it is?
What?
The Amsterdam 3-Speed.
That's the one. Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so I mean, if I want a lager by the pool, that's basically flavored water. That's exactly what I'd want.
That's comfortable. Isn't that in a bigger can too? Amsterdam.
It's in like a massive, like almost, I think, almost 600 milliliter.
It's even bigger than this one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a jumbo can, and I don't know what the price difference is, but
I think the Dab's cheaper. Like the Dab was like $2 something in Ontario, wasn't it?
Bubba said, I've got a comment right here. Bubba saying $2.60 per 500 mil. Decent layered beer. Can't go wrong. Again, it's for the price and stuff. I might actually end up making this something I just have a couple of in the fridge on hand for something to drink.
And that's what we paid.
It's not bad. It's
Alberta.
It's okay.
Really?
Yeah, I got $4.60 in Alberta.
Is it $4.60 in Alberta for a can?
Yeah.
What the hell?
I would definitely not pay $4.60 a can for it.
This beer is straight up like the poster child of the cost of living increase for being in Alberta.
Well,
that's cost of drinking increase.
Yeah, drinking.
I mean,
drinking
Dan lives in Alberta. They all have the rich oil money. They're all just like they're living in palaces and sleeping on piles of money with supermodels every night.
Yeah, we got fucking oil tycoon Dan over there.
Mm-hmm. There's so much disposable income in Alberta.
Milking it.
You can afford to pay $4.50 a can of it and have that your beer, your sessionable regular lager. Nobody cares. They just spend the money.
All right. Well, now that we've rich Alberta shamed everyone, so now it's we're good.
So,
Jamie and Dan, shame on you for having all your wealth. And I'm going to go to my ratings, and I'm going to stick with a 7 for the style. I think it's a perfectly fine lager. I don't think it goes overboard with flavor. It doesn't necessarily have the flavors I love, but I think it's fine. Personal enjoyment, I'm going to knock it down to I'm going to go 5.5 on the personal enjoyment. I'm not really enjoying this as much. I do get a little bit more of it's also a bit of a weird, it's almost like a bitter flavor I'm getting and not hop bitterness. Like bitters might not be the right word, but it's almost like a bit of a dirty flavor I'm getting, for lack of a better term, and I'm not loving it. So it's gonna be a 5.5 for me. It's still a pass. It's still something. Hey, I'm at a party. Somebody hands me one of these. I have no problem with it. I don't see myself buying this one until we do the triple anal review. So I don't see myself drinking my third can until that happens. So yeah, it is what it is. It's a lager. Not my favorite lager, but it'll do. Especially seems like it's a good price in Ontario, not Alberta.
Yeah.
Wonder what it costs in Germany.
Yeah, I have no idea.
They give it out at homeless shelters. It's free.
Scheiße.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Let's go over to Guy. Hey, Guy. Hey, Greg. Guy, what do you... Greg.
Hey, Greg Guy.
Fuck you, Greg. Guy, what do you think of the beer?
I wrote Xerox Kodak and Canon semi-gloss paper mache sweetness, tin corn sweetness. 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10.
Oh yeah, I
What,
missed
how bored do you get at your job? Do you you're just sampling the office supplies?
Smell it like fucking
It
Xerox again.
smells like what your Xerox printer paper tastes like. You're like
This has a
Tastes like
hint,
I printed a lot of pictures and shit when I had
a hint of toner from this
My
Xerox.
mom was fucking
machine.
buying
I sipped on.
fucking photo paper. That shit, you can smell that. It's like,
Hey, some hot chick, at the office party, she sits on the fucking Xerox machine.
Yeah.
We've all wanted to lick the paper that comes out and admit it.
Jesus Christ.
it's warm.
Wow.
Exactly.
Yes, it is.
That was
Tell us where the
Yeah, that
lie
was
is.
perfect.
Tell us where the lie is.
it's.
Hmm.
I love you, Guy.
holy
Oh,
fuck.
it's so good.
All right, dude. Thank you, Guy. Let's go over to Mr. Dan. Dan, the man with the dabbling. Dan. Okay, Dan, what do you think?
I was kind of actually doing some searching on this.
Well, we can come back to you.
I found some interesting. I found an interesting fact. One of the things, if this is an actual German beer, it truly isn't. It actually goes against the German beer purity law. Now, I've been trying to figure out if it actually does or not, but one of the rules of the German beer purity law is the only current prohibition for hops is the use of hop extracts after the boil.
Interesting.
So I was trying to.
This says hop extract, so
It does.
Yeah, but did they do it after the boil?
That's what I was trying to find out, and I
doubt it.
couldn't find anything about that. They might.
I mean, considering how not hoppy this beer is, I kind of doubt it.
I kind of doubt it too, but I mean, I look at this and I'm like, that's kind of interesting. It kind of also skews my marks a little bit if it is after the boil.
Yeah, now there's some Dob people watching this, and in about 12 hours, a couple agents are going to show up at Dan's door, and we're never going to hear from him again.
Well, if they take me back to Germany and feed me a lot of beer, then I'm all for that.
No, they're just going to kill you.
It won't be there. It won't be just any beer. It'll be all Dob beer.
they're going to they're going to feed you, and they're just going to put a funnel down your throat and put beer in it until you explode.
You're going to
As
be
long as it's not
It'll be the
Minnehaha, I
hop
think I'll die happy.
Mm.
But
After this boil,
boil this punk.
we'll add you to the boil.
Whoa. I mean, all
You're
you have
gonna
to
get a
do.
lot of flavor out of me over the years, and
this is
that's gonna come off there.
This
Jesus.
is
I mean, you
Dab
just-
special Dan edition.
Yeah, you just change one letter and it's just Dan beer.
there you go.
On the can.
The
Tastes a
DAM.
little soylent. I wonder why that is.
Oh, Dagenscheiße.
It's people. All right.
Anyways, that being said,
All right.
it tastes like a German kind of beer. The only thing it's a little muted though. But at the same point in time, you do have a little bit of the sweetness. You do have a little bit of the bitterness. And it's easy drinking, and 500 milliliters is going down quite easily. For the style, it's going to be a 5.5 for me. Yeah, because I can't say if it is or is not use of hop extracts after the boil. So at this point in time, it's dummied down a little bit for me, but enjoyment, 7. I can see myself having a couple of schnitzels with it and just enjoying it. Yeah, schnitzels. And
Scheiße.
Scheißenhausen. Anyways, but I mean, it's a decent beer. It does the job, and I really wish I can get it in Ontario for that price and not get it in Alberta for the price I paid for it because, god damn, that's cheap. Kind of feel bad about now how much it costs to all the import taxes here in Alberta, but that's a different story.
Anybody
Other
else?
than that,
Anyone look
yeah.
into the whole like what can you win with this can?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No worries. But yeah, aside from that, it works. Would I get it again if it was cheaper here? Yeah, probably, because it's a decent beer. But I mean, I've got an 8-pack in my fridge right now that costs way less than this one beer. So,
Jesus.
and
Find
they're
an
lagers.
8-pack of beer for less than $4.50.
Well, actually, like okay, so less than 2.5 of these beers. How's that?
Okay, that's fair.
So,
I think Redbeard, what you win is it's actually an NFT of that
No,
image.
it's a Borussia Dortmund prize pack.
Yeah, NFT of that image.
Russia.
That's the prize pack.
I'm entering.
All right.
Oh
Oh
boy,
my God.
NFTs.
so
I
yeah,
love
that's
those.
where I'm at.
So 5, 5, and 7.
Yep.
All right.
You get a backpack, a shirt, a hat, and a glass, and a 6-pack. Ooh.
Fun shit. All right. So my turn to mess all the scores up.
Hello, Nick.
Hi, Greg. So I find I get like a grassy herbal sweetness. Comes off a little bit lighter than what I remember from the Moosehead version I had last month. Comes off like it's almost got this unique flavor to the Dortmunder Export, like where it's got this grassier, sweeter, herbal, earthy bitterness. It's a little bit more pronounced and almost like got this unique character rather than Pilsner, which tends to be a little bit more broad in its style and a little bit more spicier in its hop profile. I don't really get spice out of this one here. I mean, I do get the hop extract y'all talking about, but like with that in the hop character, but I do feel like there's almost like a grassy, herbal, earthy character. It sounds weird to say it this way, but when I drink this, I get this shimmering kind of quality to the sweetness to it, which I'm sure has got something to do with the earthiness. I don't get as much bready as what some people were talking about, but I do get the toasted bread in the finish. And of course, I mentioned I do get the hop extract. I don't know. I like this. I think this beer is like compared to the last time. And considering I've had a better Dortmunder Export, I feel like Moosehead did a great fucking job with their Dortmunder Export. I feel like this kind of goes down a little bit in the overall style, but as far as overall enjoyment, I'm liking this more and more. I think it's a good beer, but it's like if I really wanted to, like a good German kind of lager, this is something unique. So I'm going to give it a 7.5 for the style, which is lower than I did last time, but I'm also going to give it a 6.5 for overall enjoyment because I like it. It's growing on me.
Yeah.
I can see where Lee's talking about where it's not as good as it used to be. Like if we had it before they started fucking it up with extract, but because it does have that kind of character. But I feel like the style itself is kind of grown on me considerably, and I do really enjoy it.
I probably also look a little lesser on it because I'm like such a massive like Pilsner fan now, and like authentic tasting Pilsners, where they really kind of hit like the Pilsner Urquell sort of side of the style kind of thing. And there's so many like craft versions that do that now, and I've been like swamped with so many of those here in the Maritimes, where it's just like now you throw any other kind of lager at me, and I'm like, fuck this.
Yes.
So you're like you appreciate Ritter's last comment there with like Germans really have to have their beer of purity. Keep it pure, German. Wherever I heard that.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly I looked that up just now, and the Rheinheits. How do you say that? Is the oldest law in the world that's still enforced.
Yes, it is.
That's actually kind of cool. And like, yeah, it's 1516.
It's debatable if it's really.
I feel like is that what Radar's thinking? Is like Hitler was sitting around one day drinking this beer and being like, you know what?
Well, you know what? Hitler was
this
like
beer
the beer
is
hall.
this beer is so pure.
Place in Munich.
We should
which
make
Bavaria, which is the home of the Rheinheitsgebot.
We should make humanity just like this beer and make it all pure.
I have news for you, Carrie. The oldest laws in existence that are still enforced today are the laws of the Bible enforced by real Christians.
Whoa!
I would actually argue laws of nature. And
I would
physics.
say no. You use a
Law of
prosecutor.
gravity. Law of gravity was before
That's
Indian
awesome.
law.
It didn't exist before Isaac Newton, man. Things just floated around. It's crazy.
Mhm.
Before he bought an apple.
Yeah,
No, yeah, use a prostitute. You got to pay for it. That's the oldest law. That's the oldest profession.
that is actually probably the oldest one. Yeah, it's like you
Unless you
you
find
pay
a
up.
free prostitute.
Yeah, the prostitution is the oldest profession.
A freestitute.
Freestitute.
Got coupons back then too.
He's always free to toot.
Anyway, yeah, like it's debatable whether or not really Reina Escobar's still enforced, but I think it was just at the law of the land of Bavaria region, and it was kind of, during the Holy Roman Empire was kind of like rubbed off on neighboring regions, but at the time of unification, it became like, okay, we'll join the union if all beer in the new German Empire conforms to Reinheitsgebot. So that was like an agreement they had in order to join the whole German unification. So
Frankly, I'm pretty sure it's mostly just marketing now. It's like German breweries don't like. I'm sure there's some traditional ones that are still like really fucking Nazi about the way they brew their beer. But
easy there. There's a brewery here in Alberta that actually keeps to the German tradition.
Oh, there's Nazis in Alberta? You don't say.
no,
I did not see that coming.
But yeah, I mean it's mostly marketing these days. It's like if you know, because fucking the typical fucking Joe Six-Pack Homer in Germany that buys shitty beer or whatever, like, I'll go for the fucking traditionally brewed and goes to Reinheitsgebot.
Here's the funny thing about Reinheitsgebot. Even back then, there were beers that didn't conform to Reinheitsgebot, because technically, what's Reinheitsgebot? They didn't know what yeast did back then, so forget yeast. It was basically water, hops, and barley. If there's water, hops, barley, that's Reinheitsgebot. It has to be brewed with that, or can't be other shit in it. And yet, royalty was somehow entitled to beers brewed with wheat.
Yeah, exactly.
So wheat is not technically Reinheitsgebot, yet the royalty in the fucking, they say, hey, yeah, we can have this no matter what. So any kind of Hefeweizen doesn't really conform to Reinheitsgebot, yet it's like German style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fuck Queen Elizabeth.
Whoa!
Well, I know she's part German, but not really quite that German.
Now she's just part corpse, or whole corpse, actually.
Corpse.
Let's be honest. She overstayed her welcome. We're very happy to have Charles III. All hail the new king.
Yeah.
All hail our new Chuck big ear.
God save the king.
Yeah, $3 Chuck there. We'll fucking
$3 Chuck.
Yeah, wouldn't mind Chuck.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how long, like Queen Elizabeth was a thing for like 70 something years. Like Charles,
he won't be around that long.
Maybe 10, 15. He's like 70 something already.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna.
I don't know what
last 10 years.
So you guys see
William is like 40 something now, but let's say in 10 years he becomes king, 15 years. Let's say he's 50, 55. At most, he'll reign for like 30, 40 years. If he has a long life, like
we won't see another like that in our lifetimes.
Let's hope the British come to their senses and do away with those fucking bunch of tax parasites.
Can he marry his dad and become the queen?
I probably that'd be actually the new progressive way to make them, embraced by the coming generations.
In case anybody watching is curious, yes, Lee is our ambassador for monarchy,
or all things royal.
Yeah,
I don't even think Charles is going to have like 10 years. You see those pictures of his fucking hands floating around on the internet where they're like super bloated? Like
I did sausagey fingers.
He's got some health problems. Like,
yeah.
No, he's also got that parasitic tax money to fix it. So
Well, when I've seen him lately on TV, he doesn't look like his hands are abnormal. So I wonder if maybe he's whatever it was got better. I don't know.
Maybe it could be some affliction that like I forgot to take my pills today. Also,
I mean, the fact is, I think he's 73, 74. He's just becoming the monarch. Let's say if he's like his dad, he lives to close to 100. That's still 25 years, and that's a very, very like positive outlook on where his life is going. He probably won't live as long as his dad did. His dad was kind of a freak of nature.
All right, so there's your scores. It's 6.7 for the style, 6.4 for overall enjoyment. Compare that to what was the scores from last time? They were 7.33 and 6.17. So overall enjoyment, I think, is improved, but overall style went down.
So this is proof to the marketing companies for big beers that dumbing down your product actually makes it more enjoyable to the general populace.
But how many people were on the last one versus how many people are on this one?
Oh,
Don't
Dan
you
makes
throw-
a point.
Don't you throw math into this, Dan?
Oh, I'm throwing math into this. How many people were on the last one versus how many people are on this one?
There was only 3 of you last
Yeah,
time.
there was
right?
only 3 people in the last. You
And
know, if you
there's
showed up
this
sometime, you would have known it.
Well, sorry, but if you actually started later and I was able to,
Excuses. Yeah, well, at least
You prioritized your life better, and
We did start late.
Yeah, if you put more time to hang out with your loser fucking friends and get drunk on the internet.
Jesus, I'm sorry. I'm just gearing up for this Friday when I get to be drunk in person.
There you go.
Okay, so we need somebody to ask the magic question.
Hi, Nick.
Come on, Ray. Hey, Greg.
Come on, Radar, you still in there?
Anybody? Bubba?
Is,
Come on.
is,
Someone.
is Radar still in there? Someone tap on his skull. Are you still in there, Radar?
Hey, McFly, you in there, McFly?
I mean, doesn't he just live next door to Gee? Gee, go over, say hi to him.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm in a different province.
That's not true at
Whatever.
all. All you French people live together in like.
Yeah. Province is a different word in French.
Jesus, he's so slow. I even beat him.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Well, you know what? Dan asked the question, so we'll just remove him from the chat here for a second. So Dan asked the magic question. He's not in this chat.
Oh, hey, Dan.
Now he's back.
How you guys
Dan's here.
We're going to talk about,
Oh,
because I want to get this over with. Hi, Dan.
Hi.
Yeah, so get rid of the comment. So what's next week's beer? So next week we're going to do a BYOB. Yay. We're going to do a BYOB fall beers. So open kind of style where it's anything to do with fall. It's either a pumpkin beer. In my case, I got an Oktoberfest beer. It can also be like a harvest beer, like an end of season harvest beer. It can be anything you want as long as it's a fall seasonal. So yeah, BYOB fall beers. That's what we're going to do this year. This for next week. Especially, it's actually kind of extra meaningful because next week is technically Oktoberfest. So even though it doesn't really happen in October, it's like the last week of October in Germany. So
Yeah.
it's probably something to do with that Julian calendar, the Gregorian calendar.
The Nazi calendar. We get it.
Wait, comment from
that comment.
Bubba Sadie's here. It's sober October. That's not a
cracker
thing.
calendar.
No.
So October is just around the corner. How about everyone tries to find a decent NA beer to recommend?
No,
Yeah,
stop it.
it's dry February is the beer. Is the month that is dry.
Yeah, we usually do a dry February, but it's like
Although,
next
to be
Wednesday.
honest-
Next Wednesday is technically still September. So
To be honest, that is a pretty big marketing fail. Sober October just sounds better than dry February. in
It
my
does, but I feel like Bubba Sadie's is trying to get this thing as a thing, and I'm not going to let him. So you shut up.
Yeah, I'm not on board for Sober October. I'll tell you right now.
No, because I also drink. for
And
Halloween.
also,
There's no way
as
I'm
far
doing
as recommend a decent non-alcoholic beer,
Libra.
that our compliments blonde
Yeah.
thing, and
Yeah, that's true.
everything
The
else that I've
Compliments
had
Blonde.
isn't good. Like it's like everything else, it's like I'll just have a can of pop or something. I'm not even gonna have
Yeah.
beer at this point.
Plus
talking
February is a winter stout and porter season, so like, fuck that.
I don't mind the
Plus a
Libra.
Coke.
hazy
It's
IPA.
always stout season.
Yeah, the Libra
it.
stuff
Libra
is,
was good.
is pretty good too.
I don't,
But-
well, no, I had we
I haven't tried it yet, but apparently our Sobeys here got the cherry sour. Like,
Didn't
Oh,
we
you
do
need,
the-
you,
did
you
the
know-
Libra hazy IPA or some shit for the beer analysis, didn't we?
yeah, we did that one back in February.
That was okay, but still, it's like
you know what's sitting in the back shop of my Sobeys I work at?
What?
Libra pumpkin spice.
Really?
like
Yeah.
non-alcoholic.
Uh,
pumpkin.
yeah.
I think it's something worth considering next month.
Well, I mean, if they get around to putting it on the fucking shelf, that's a big question.
That's
We'll put it out in the middle of November.
It's like, do
Yeah.
you really want to put this crap out there?
We're hurting for shelf space
Yeah,
as it is,
and whoever wants to buy it in Ontario probably would have to order it online.
probably, yeah.
Looking at Libra's site, they actually do list Sober October.
Shut up.
Well, why wouldn't they? It's a marketing.
Okay, officially, we know Bubba said he works for Libra. He's a shill,
Yep.
corporate shill.
Yep.
So they're like, okay, we got this dry February thing going on. Let's get another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll probably wind up doing a dry February. Look at this, Sober October, and they get the pumpkin spice ale.
Yeah, they got cherry sour, pumpkin spice, stout, pilsner, IPA, pale ale, 6 of each.
I haven't tried the stout yet.
Oh, Bubba Sadie says, no, I work for New Ontario. Why would you admit that?
Why would? Yeah, well, it must be true because why would otherwise would you admit that?
Isn't that Carrie's favorite brewery?
Carrie's smiling right now.
Carrie's favorite
Oh
brewery.
boy! Oh boy!
Yeah,
Surprised
they're
you watch my channel if you're from New Ontario. Anyway,
yeah, it's
all right.
So how about them Blue Jays?
North Bay is not a
Let's go put
destination.
Carrie up
You want
the foot of his
kind
mouth.
of like we got two craft breweries here. One of them is basically the most inconsistent brewery I've ever experienced in my life, and the other one is just kind of boring. So it's like,
I didn't mind stuff from Gateway City.
no, they make good beer, but they don't do any adventurous stuff like barrel age me a stout or
They had
fucking,
a like rice lager and something else that they had too.
yeah. Again, it's all like just basic, nothing
Boring.
exciting to me.
Boring to you, I guess.
Yeah. I'll give you that. It's to me here, North Bay, Northern Ontario. A lot of the population is kind of all about the Bud, Coors Light, Carling, macro stuff. So like a lot of the stuff Gateway makes, I would contend is they are good like transition beers. If you want to have a craft beer and support local while still having kind of that Budweiser-esque taste a little bit kind of thing. I don't know. It just like there's breweries that like if I lived near like Collective Arts or Great Lakes or so many other just breweries, in my opinion, that are just amazing. Like I wouldn't even go to the LCBO anymore. I'm just going to go there every day. It's yeah. Anyway, ramble.
Right.
I apologize.
It's all good. All right. So I think it's high time that we take this thing offline. So I want to thank everybody for popping on. Thank everybody who was watching. Bubba Sadie's, even you saying Dab sucks there, Andrew Watts. Jamie, wherever you, we love you. And everybody on here, thanks for popping on. Of course, we'll just
Chris
leave
Peters
you.
killed those women.
He did, and we'll leave you with Redbeard saying penis.
February, drink up your fairy.